During moments like the national salute to hospitalized veterans, Chuck Norris represents something deeper than celebrity or physical ability. At 85, his presence speaks less about fame and more about a lifetime shaped by perseverance and quiet resolve. The strength he embodies isn't loud or dramatic. It's steady, patient, and built over decades of choosing discipline when life offered uncertainty. While millions know his face from movies and martial arts, his true story began long before recognition followed his name. It's a story rooted in resilience, shaped by hardship, and guided by an internal compass that valued integrity over applause. Chuck Norris's life reminds us that strength is not measured by how hard we strike, but by how consistently we stand back up. His journey reflects the kind of courage that grows slowly, forged through responsibility, endurance, and an unwavering commitment to rise above circumstance. Growing up with uncertainty, Carlos Ray Norris spent his early years in the small town of Ryan, Oklahoma, where life was simple on the surface, but heavy beneath it. Financial hardship and emotional uncertainty were part of daily life, shaping a childhood marked by caution and observation. His home environment required emotional awareness beyond his years, teaching him to listen closely and move carefully. These early experiences instilled humility and restraint, qualities that would later define him. Rather than confidence, young Chuck developed patience. Rather than boldness, he learned awareness. Though these were not lessons any child should have to learn early, they became the foundation for his emotional discipline. He did not yet know where life would lead him, but even then, he understood something important. Survival was not about dominance, but about endurance. Those quiet lessons would follow him long after he left Oklahoma behind. The steady influence of a mother. Through every uncertain chapter of his childhood, Chuck's mother, Wilma, remained a steady and guiding presence. She carried the responsibility of raising her children with determination, faith, and practical wisdom, even when circumstances were overwhelming. Her strength was not loud or forceful, but consistent and reassuring. She believed deeply in character, responsibility, and hope, teaching her sons that hardship did not have to define their future. Chuck absorbed those lessons quietly, watching how perseverance looked in daily life. Wilma emphasized compassion, self-control, and belief in something greater than immediate struggle. Her influence planted the idea that strength could coexist with kindness and discipline with empathy. Long before martial arts entered his life, Chuck learned from her that real courage often appears in calm decisions made day after day, especially when no one is watching. Choosing a new beginning. In his teenage years, change arrived in the form of a fresh start. When his family relocated to California, it offered distance from the past and room to breathe. The move didn't erase memories, but it created space for growth. For Chuck, this transition marked the beginning of self-definition. He was no longer only reacting to his environment, he was beginning to imagine who he might become. California brought new schools, new faces, and unfamiliar expectations, all of which challenged him to adapt. Rather than retreat inward, he slowly began to engage, learning how to build confidence through effort. The uncertainty of change taught him flexibility, while the hope of something better nurtured determination. This chapter wasn't about immediate success, but about learning that transformation begins when one chooses forward motion, even without guarantees. Returning home with purpose. When Chuck left the Air Force and returned to California, he carried with him a stronger sense of self and direction. He opened a modest karate school, fueled by belief rather than certainty. The early days were quiet, often discouraging, but he remained consistent. Teaching became an extension of his own learning, reinforcing discipline and humility. Students were drawn not only to his skill, but to the respect and patience he demonstrated. Through instruction, Chuck learned leadership, how to guide without force and inspire through example. Every class reaffirmed his belief in steady effort over quick results. Building something from the ground up taught him resilience in a new form. The school was not just a business, it was a reflection of his values. Through persistence, his reputation grew, and so did his confidence in the path he had chosen. Testing himself in competition. As his abilities developed, Chuck entered martial arts competitions, viewing them not as platforms for fame, but as opportunities for growth. Each match tested preparation, composure, and adaptability. Victory required clarity under pressure, while setbacks offered lessons in humility. Over time, he developed a reputation for discipline and consistency rather than flash. Competing helped him measure progress honestly, reinforcing that mastery is ongoing. His success was built through repetition, conditioning, and respect for the craft. Titles and recognition followed, but they were never the primary motivation. For Chuck, competition was about refining character as much as skill. It strengthened his confidence without eroding humility. These experiences taught him how to face challenge directly, remain composed, and trust his training. The discipline he cultivated here would later translate seamlessly into other areas of his life. A new arena in film. Transitioning into film introduced Chuck to an entirely different kind of challenge. Acting required vulnerability, adaptability, and patience in unfamiliar ways. Early opportunities were limited, and progress was slow. Yet the discipline he had built over years of training proved invaluable. He approached acting as he did martial arts, by studying, practicing, and accepting feedback. His role opposite Bruce Lee in The Way of the Dragon became a defining moment, not because of spectacle, but because it represented readiness meeting opportunity. That experience opened doors, but success still required persistence. Hollywood tested him with rejection and uncertainty, but he remained grounded. Rather than chasing trends, Chuck stayed true to his values. Gradually, his authenticity resonated, allowing him to carve out a career built on consistency rather than overnight fame. Personal loss and perspective. Despite professional success, Chuck's life was shaped by deeply personal moments of loss and reflection. The passing of loved ones left lasting impressions, reminding him that strength also includes vulnerability. These experiences reinforced the importance of presence, gratitude, and emotional honesty. Rather than retreat from grief, he allowed it to inform his priorities. Relationships, family, and connection became central to his understanding of fulfillment. Life taught him that resilience is not about avoiding pain, but about moving forward with compassion. These moments added depth to his character, grounding him in empathy. Success no longer meant accumulation, but alignment, living in a way that honored both responsibility and love. Through reflection, Chuck learned that the quiet moments often shape us more than public victories, and that inner balance is the true measure of endurance. Family and renewed focus. Marriage and fatherhood brought a renewed sense of purpose to Chuck's life. Building a home rooted in stability and care became a priority, shifting focus away from constant achievement. Family life offered grounding and perspective, reminding him why discipline matters beyond personal success. Parenthood deepened his appreciation for patience, presence, and protection. These roles required the same consistency he valued in training, but with greater emotional investment. The ranch in Texas became more than a retreat. It was a space for connection, reflection, and growth. Chuck embraced this chapter with gratitude, understanding that strength evolves over time. The drive that once fueled competition now supported nurturing and guidance. This phase of life illustrated that growth doesn't slow with age. It simply changes direction, emphasizing legacy over recognition. Devotion through adversity. When health challenges affected his wife, Chuck demonstrated strength in its quietest and most profound form. he stepped away from public demands to focus entirely on care and support. This chapter of life required patience, advocacy, and emotional endurance rather than physical performance. His commitment reflected love expressed through action, not words. The experience reaffirmed that resilience is often invisible, unfolding in daily decisions made without recognition. Through uncertainty, he remained present and steady, guided by devotion rather than fear. This period revealed the depth of his character more clearly than any role or title ever could. It showed that true strength lies in consistency, loyalty, and compassion. The discipline he cultivated over decades supported him here, proving that preparation for life's hardest moments often begins long before they arrive. A legacy of quiet strength. Chuck Norris's life illustrates that strength is not defined by dominance or visibility, but by integrity and endurance. From a modest childhood to global recognition, his journey reflects steady growth shaped by discipline, resilience, and compassion. His legacy extends beyond films or championships, living instead in values passed on through example. He demonstrates that hardship does not disqualify potential. It refines it. Each chapter of his life reinforces the idea that courage appears in commitment, patience, and love. His story encourages reflection, reminding us that real strength often goes unnoticed because it doesn't seek applause. It simply shows up again and again. In that consistency lies its power. Chuck Norris's journey stands as a testament to the enduring capacity of the human spirit to grow, adapt, and remain grounded, no matter the stage of life.